Hello guys, I'm back. So I'll be explaining you how the first practical, which is create a simple calculator application using Servlet. So this is the revised practical list or revised syllabus for BSc semester 5. So we are in this tutorial. We'll be just focusing on this one, creating a simple calculator. Okay, so let's start. So before going that, you're going to just to let you know, if you download the NetBeans, download the latest version and just Google it. Let me search. Okay, go to the first one, NetBeans ORG. Here. So if you select all, make sure or either you select this one or select the Java Enterprise Edition, which has Glassfish server. Otherwise, you'll have to install the Glassfish server or Apache Tomcat separately, and it has a lot of issues. So it's better you download this one or this one as per your requirement. So first application is we are going to create is Java Web Application. Okay, so that's the reason you need to select this one. If this can also work, but it will give you lots of issues for installing Apache Tomcat separately and Glassfish server separately. So it's better you have it along with NetBeans. So the same way I have done. Okay, let me start with my first practical. So I'll just open the NetBeans. So you need to just have a basic understanding. Okay, if you know, you'll require a basic knowledge of HTML, wherein you will create two text boxes, one submit button, okay, and four radio buttons for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so even if you don't know the code, if you don't know the HTML, you can just Google it out. Okay, so you have the Google, you don't remember the syntax, not an issue. Once you write it, twice you write it, then there is no need to Google. You'll be able to do it yourself. So that is how you. So you have, there are very good websites like Stack Overflow is one of the best to resolve your issues or find out the. So I've already created one. Okay, so what will I do? I'll just delete this. I don't wanna directly run it. I wanna show it from start, and I'll be a bit fast. I'll just give you the codes in the description of the. You can find the codes in the description of the YouTube video. Okay, I'll click on new project, select Java web application, click on next. Okay, you can give the name, create simple servlet or simple calculator. Using servlets. Next, Glassfish server is automatically selected here. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't select, you download NetBeans with that is like merged with Glassfish server, you'll have to download and install it separately and then configure. It takes a lot of pain. Next, I don't want any of the frameworks currently. I'll just click on finish. So the project will be created here. Okay. Next, this is the index.html. So before going further, what we'll do is, okay, so you can give the, this comes automatically, you know, this is the basic syntax of an HTML file. So simple calculator, you can give the title, that will come as a title of the web browser which gets open. So whatever the code you write here in the index.html, and when you run this will be effective on the web browser that is getting open. So it will, whatever you write here will be visible. So you can say this is the GUI. What is visible in the browser will be this. So what we want is in the body, okay, so we don't have any cascading or CSS, we're not gonna apply. So what we want, we'll take two text boxes, input okay, name is equal to name is equal to, I'll say n1, make it simple. Okay. And I'll write a text before that. Enter your first number, whatever you want to make it. Enter your first number. Okay. So if you give br tag, there'll be a it will go to the it will display the next input box in the next line. Otherwise, if you don't give br, it will like come as in the same line. So I'll just copy paste here. When I have the code, it's better to copy paste, right? Second line, enter your second number. Okay, input name is equal to n2. Okay. Then what we want, we need to select, we need to give 4 options to the user. So I'll say input type is equal to, okay. So you can see all of the options come here. So even if you don't remember, it gives you the LOV. So you can select, we want a radio button. Why we are selecting radio button? The user should be able to select only one out of the 4 options: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So I'll use radio. So if I say checkbox, it allows you to do multiple checks, which is not applicable for a calculator. You cannot add and subtract at the same time. Okay, only one calculation is allowed. That's why you're using radio button. Name is equal to, you can say calc, give, as simple as that. Okay. Okay, so input tab is equal to radio, name is equal to calc, and value is equal to, so it was addition. So I'll give a plus sign. So I'll just copy paste. Now here we'll give the same name for all of the operations. The radio button name will be the same, calc, and then we'll retrieve the value. Depending upon the value, we'll do the calculation. Okay, so this is how we do. And so I can say here, select desired operation. Okay, now you can put it in the same line, or okay, I'll put a break here, and rest all will be in the same line. That's fine. Let's see how it appears if you want to make any more changes. And then the last, okay, input type is equal to submit, value is equal to calculate or submit, whatever you want. Now we want, as soon as you click this submit button, it should call a servlet. Okay, it should call a servlet, which will do the logic part, which will take these 2 numbers, okay, and what is the operation selected. Depending upon that operation selected, it will add, subtract. So how will we decide which tag we'll use? We'll use form tag within the body, where we'll say form, for this form action, as soon as you click the submit button, action will be servlet calc, or you gave your name calculator, so I'm just keeping it simple. Okay, and then slash form, you need to close that tag, otherwise it will be erroring out. Okay, so let's just try to run this, how it appears. Okay, so you can see the addition, subtraction, division, but what is missing, it is not telling you the caption. Okay, so which data it has to enter. So let me go back here. So I'll say addition, I'll say this subtraction, or subtract. Why it's giving the error? then subtract, add, next is multiply and divide. Why it's giving me the error here? Misspelled word. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. So if I run now, let's see. Okay, so addition, subtraction, multiply, divide. And as soon as you click submit, I'll put this. You can see there is some greater than sign coming here. I don't know why it's coming. So we need to check that. Here. That's fine. Input tab is equal to submit. I'll just give a break here so that the submit button is at the next line. So I think our GUI is ready. So let me run it final time. Okay. Here it comes. You enter your first number, second number, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Now nothing will happen. It will not give you the calculation, nothing. Okay. Why it's saying? Because it is trying to call this servlet calc. Okay, and we have no servlet calc here. So now we'll go and add a servlet. I'll just right click source packages, new, and then add a servlet. I'll give this name as, if you want to give the package name, that is good practice. It's up to you. Even if you don't give, that's fine. Okay. I'm using the same name which I gave it in the action, servlet calc. I just copied it. I'll click on next. Finish. Okay, by default it will give you the definitions, or it will give you all the methods the servlet has. Servlet has a predefined method. So it is already having a process request. Okay, so it will take the request from the HTML form, and then with the help of response object you can print out. Okay, so I'll not do any changes here. I'll keep it as it is. Print write out is the output stream to print it on your result page. So here the HTML will work, but you'll have to use the HTML code like this, out.println, and within that println, in the double quotes, your HTML code will come. Okay, so what we have here is now we have request also. So what we'll do, I'll just take double variable. Why we are taking double variable? We are not taking integer double because we want division also. So I'll say n1 is equal to. Now before doing that, okay, let me define two or three variables, and one is for result equals to 0. Okay, spelling of double. Now it will, I think it will import, no, and that's fine. Okay, so now n1 is equal to request dot get parameter. I'm sorry. Okay, now here what will be the name? We'll go to the index.html. What is the name we have given is n1. So see here, there is a space. You have to make sure there is no space here. Otherwise, if you don't give it. So name of the first text box. So we want to retrieve the value entered in this text box n1. So I'll just write here n1. Now if you see the return type is string, it is incompatible, and the variable which is trying to store it is n1. So you'll have to just convert using the double dot pass double method. Okay, so it will convert the string into double value. right? Now what will I do? I'll take this. Okay, request.context is not required, but still in the body, I'll just print the value of n1. N1. Okay, so I'll just try it here. Before going further, I'm just trying to make you explain how it is working. So it will just print out the value of n1. Okay. So as soon as the servlet receives the request, it will, with the help of a request object, we can retrieve the data from the previous form which has submitted the values, and it will do the calculation using that value. Now there is some error here. Let's see what's the error and where is it. Let's. What is the error? Why it's red? Okay, I don't find it. Let's try to build it. Okay, build is successful. Let's try to run now. Here it is. So if I say 6, 3, even if I select add, subtract, multiply, I have not written the logic for any of it. So it will just display the number n1. Okay, value using, what is this? Just go back. So I've entered 6. Okay, so how the code is coming. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, I didn't change this. Value for first number, I'll say. Okay, and I don't want this path, so I'll just comment it out. I don't want this. So I'll just save it again and I'll just redeploy or just run it. Okay, so I say 6, 5, value for first number is 5.0. You can, since I have not given space, there is no appropriate space. Clear? So similarly, I'll go and retrieve my second number. And I'll just copy paste this code. So once, see, using NetBeans is very simple. Otherwise, if you're not using NetBeans, you have to go and write each and every code manually. So why do take pains when it's very simple? So I'll just, we know the name of the text box is n2. And now we'll define one more variable as string as operator. Okay, initially it will be like blank, suppose. So this operator is equal to request dot get parameter op. No, we know it's calc. Okay, now just to confirm if this works or something else we have to pass to this OP. So instead of doing this, I'll just make it OP here. Okay, and let's see if I select any operator, it gives me the value of it. Okay, so let's run this. This is how you learn actually, even from small things. Did it run? Yeah, it ran. So now I'm not going to enter any number because it's not going to display. I've changed the code. I selected add. Okay, why is it not showing me? Yes, let me check what's the name of this. It's right, calc. Yep, it's calc. Then what is happening? Okay. Okay. Why it's not printing the value? Let me build it again and just try to run it. Clean and build. 4 6 select, add, submit. Perfect. Now it works, so nothing was the issue. So plus I selected and addition I selected and it get okay. So now, so we know this stores if we have selected addition, subtraction, or multiplication. Now comes here. Now what we have to do is if op dot equals plus, okay, then what you have to do, res is equal to n1 plus n2. Perfect. Else if op dot equals subtraction, result is equal to n1 minus n2. Else again, else if op dot equals division. See, if you don't get the curly braces, it's okay because there is only one line. So it will just take by default the next one line and it is in that loop. It will not take multiple lines. But if you have multiple lines within a if-else loop or if-else condition or a for loop, whatever it is, so that is, you have to mention this curly braces. But I usually use it. It makes it pretty clear. So res is equal to n1 divided by n2. Here goes. So else if op dot equals now what is left? Multiplication, whatever. So I'll just write res. Here I'm not using the res is equal to n1 into n2. Okay, it's because else. Okay, by default it will take the next line under consider it under the else if statement. Else if is not a loop, it is a statement, conditioning statement. Okay, because it's not a loop, because it's not gonna repeat the execute the statement repetitively. That is for loop and while loop, the task of for loop and while loop. That's okay. Okay, so done. So either of this four conditions, out of this four conditions, one will be true because we are going to select only one. The option, there is a possibility of selecting only one option. So if it's plus, minus, depending upon that. So we have our operation stored. So we'll use the same statement to display the result. And what we can do is we can take one more variable just to make it more. We'll take a variable calculation. Don't take a such just a calculation string. Okay, I'll just copy this. What will I do? I'll say calculation is equal to addition, just to make it look more good. Then I will say calculation is equal to subtraction, okay, and calculation is equal to division, okay, addition, subtraction, division, and last is multiplication. Okay, So that's the advantage of using ID. If you directly do it through command prompt, you'll never get to know if you're not putting a semicolon and all that. So it's best option. Okay. H1, instead of telling okay, plus I'll just directly use the calculation. Okay, so it will say addition of two numbers would be stored in the result. Done. Okay, and so let's save. We'll put one more button here after submit. Let's say input type is submit, and here we'll say type is equal to reset button, which will just clear the form. Okay, save, done. Now run. I think we are done with the first practical. So suppose I say 6, 5, add these two number, click on submit. Multiplication, this is called logical error. 6 plus 5 is 11, that is true. So what did I do? Where is addition? So if I go into the logic, so this is addition, subtraction, why? Why it's doing multiplication? Oh, you got it? By default, it is taking the last line. Okay, I thought I didn't give the curly brace this. So this is an example. Okay, I didn't give this curly brace for this. So it is that only taking this statement into this is else if. Okay, so by default, if whatever is the calculation, it is overwriting it at the last. It is taking the last value which is getting assigned. So I need to change it and put these two statements into this curly case. That's what I wanted to explain. So, okay, it's good. So if you make mistakes, we learn from the mistake. That's what. So whenever you do the practicals, you don't just do it copy and paste. Do it word by word. So it will be like you'll never forget it. You'll do it you just get up from the sleep and you will be able to do it. You just understand what you're doing. So it's very simple. So I'm just running it again, only to build. Okay, the new tab has open 6, 67, addition. Okay, addition. I'll subtract it. Second option is subtract. If you want, you can put a break and put all the options one below the another so that it's not confusing. It's up to you. So I've selected subtract, not multiply. Okay, so it looks like I've selected subtract. So what is the thing we are doing? We should put the caption after the option button. I've put it before the radio button. Confused again. So multiplication and division. So let me change it. It's very confusing. Okay, so division it will give everything in point-wise. So let me do one thing. I'll go to index.html and just put this text after the input box. Okay. Even if you don't do it, that's all okay. Okay, let me close all the tabs. Here I run it again and then let's check. Okay. This is really easier, right? Comparatively what I had done previously. So yeah, now I'm selecting add. Addition is 60. Go back, subtract 52. You need to cross check also. See, after multiply, I've given the break because of that break. Okay, divide have given at the wrong position, that's why. So multiply and the last one is divide. Okay, let me do that change also. See, divide is after the break, that's why it's appearing after the radio button. So that I have to change. And let me run it for the last time. Okay, here it comes in the same line. So what is the use of reset button? It will just clear the form. 56 3 divide. I'm still not able to understand why this button is this greater than sign is coming. It's coming after submit and reset button. And here it is. Here it is. Okay, so now that will also not come. Okay, now clear. So this is the title coming up here. 8080, if you say, is the port of the Glassfish server on which Glassfish server is running. So this ends our practical number 1. Okay, so video is of half an hour or more than that, maybe, or whatever it is. But yeah, I hope this is fun. Okay, thank you. Subscribe, like, comment. And if you want some more videos, I'll be doing that also. If you have any doubts with any